Hello my crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky Paper Crafts, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba. Today we are playing with the Layering Designs Vellum. They're 12 by 12 sheets. They're on page 33 of the current January to June mini catalog. You get 6 different sheets, 3 black and 3 white. They have matching patterns. So you've got black and white with the map. You've got a black and white text pattern and also a black and white cursive, like diary journal type of a print. I haven't decided if I'm going to be using the white or the black map pattern yet. I think I'm kind of leaning toward the black a little bit more, but I am going to be using the white for our first technique. Now I was going to change my work surface today because it is getting a little bit manky and it looks like it probably needs a bit of a color refresh and a freshening up, but it's going to get messy anyway. I've already been playing a little bit today, so I've got all of the colors on my hands. So I'm just going to rip a little bit of paper towel to get it under my work surface. Now, I do have a sample piece that I did earlier, just because I wasn't 100% sure if this technique was going to work or not. So it did curl a little bit, mostly because I forgot to tape it down. So I am going to tape this one down. And I cut this one to 4 by 5 1/4. This one I left a little bit longer. It's still 4 inches wide, but I left a little bit more height just so that I can tape it and it's not going to go all weird on me. So for this, well, hopefully it's not going to go all weird on me. For this one, you're going to need reinkers, water in a spray bottle, a fine mist spray bottle. The Stampin' Spritzers work well, or anything else really with a fine spritz. Paper cutter and coordinating cardstock of your choice. Now I didn't really center this, so I think I'm just going to move. There we go. All right, so the first step that I did, this spritzer has just water in it, so I am going to get my paper a little bit wet first. The colors that I've got are Granny Apple Green, Coastal Cabana Gorgeous Grape. That one turned out a little bit dark. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. And Flirty Flamingo. So we're just going to plop our reinker random patterns. If you wanted it a little bit more precise, you can certainly do that. I kind of prefer the randomness. And I think we'll mix it up a little bit here with the Flirty Flamingo. If you're concerned about hands getting dirty, you can absolutely wear gloves. You can use something to hold your paper down, because as you're applying the paper, as you can see here, it will start to curl a bit. So I'm just going to use my bone folder and add a little bit more water. And then I'm going to move it around with my heat tool. And if it's a little too heavy for your liking, you can blot it. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. You can blot it off with a little bit more paper towel. It is a little bit heavy looking for my taste at the moment. And then, of course, oh, there we go. You can add more ink if it's too dark. You can add more color if you don't really love it. And if your tools get covered with ink, it's not a big deal. All you need to do is run it under some water, give it a wipe, and it'll be as good as new. Now with vellum, you do want to keep your heat tool moving because it can burn. And as you can see, it is curling a little bit. So I'm actually not going to finish this card because it will need a little bit more time to dry, and I'm going to put it underneath probably my biggest stamp block, just to lay it flat and make sure that it's not gonna go anywhere. All right, I'm just gonna peel the tape and see what that looks like. I do like that. I think it needs just a little bit more color though. So I'm gonna pop a little bit more Flirty Flamingo on in a couple of spots where it's a little light. There we go. And with the heat tool too, you can kind of get it moving into whatever direction you would like. You can also pick up and get your water flowing that way as well. Oh, that's much prettier. Now with the vellum, I'll show you on a blank piece. There is a right side and a wrong side. I think I am going to call that done because it is starting to curl just a little bit more. All right. So I'm just going to move this off to the side, put it under, actually peel the tape off first. And then I'm just going to set it off to the side on top of some, or underneath something heavy. I've got my punches here, so I'm just going to use those just to make sure that it dries so that I can use it on a card. So you can see with the vellum sheets, hopefully you can see, there's sort of a shiny side and a duller side. The next technique, if I was using the, I might use the white just to see how it turns out. If it doesn't work, we'll just move on to the darker one. So this is the matte pattern. Flip this over so it's a little bit cleaner. I will take this and get it washed after, along with my hands. So I've got pretty much all of my green blends out, and I'm doing this on the matte side. I'm just going to go ahead and scribble to my heart's content with my colors. This is light shaded spruce. Now in my Stampin' Spritzer, I do have 99% rubbing alcohol. You do want to make sure that you're using the highest possible percentage of rubbing alcohol. If you use anything with less, it for some reason doesn't work as well. I think probably because it's got a higher water content, and with the higher water content, it will, first of all, curl your paper, and second of all, it won't dry as quickly, and it doesn't have that same degree of spread as the higher percentages do. Okay, this is kind of looking a little camouflage to me, so I'm just going to go into my blends bucket. I'm going to pull out Bermuda Bay. Yep. Whoops. And then I'm just going to fill in a few spots with Bermuda Bay too. I love Bermuda Bay. To me, it's very reminiscent of summer and beach, and way warmer than it is right now. My husband's currently outside snow blowing the, I don't even know how many feet we've got. But we did have a really super dry summer, so hopefully this is going to help. Okay, so I've got my rubbing alcohol in here. I'm just going to move my paper around just to get some movement of the color and get it to kind of blend together. Now, the more alcohol you add, the lighter it's going to be. And again, you want to move your heat tool quickly and don't get too close to the paper, because if you do, it can scorch. And again, the lovely thing with this technique is if it's too light in one spot, Add some more ink. If it's too dark in one spot, add some alcohol. I think I am going to add a little bit more of the dark over here. I love these little like indentation pieces that you get as well. Actually, I've got some. Where's my bronze? Oh, next month there is a 10-pack of blends coming out that is like flesh tones, and it comes there. It's actually going to be a bundle of the blends as well as some stamps in that. It's all together, signaling or signifying friendship and relationships, and it's a really pretty bundle. I can't wait. That's water, not alcohol. There we go. So now my vellum is starting to curl, but it's fine because I'm going to hold it down and it'll be fine. And then just move your heat tool. You can turn your paper around. You can, I really like how that's turning out, actually. Yeah, I know you're turning and curling because I added water to you, but it's fine. Another fun day in the craft room. You know what? Accidents happen, mistakes happen. It's card making. Nobody's going to get seriously injured. Well, hopefully not. Worst thing that can happen today is I'm going to burn myself with my heat tool, and that's happened before. So, okay. I'm just going to hold it down here so that it can cool and hopefully flatten, because, yeah, that's just how it's going today. All right. So we've got our back side. Now when you flip it over to the front, you can see that it's kind of a little bit more subtle. This is actually, you cannot do this on more than one thing. I did this in a class yesterday. It is called stained glass. So it's basically stamping and coloring on vellum. And because the vellum has that sort of frosted quality to it, it really lends itself to this technique really, really well. So I'm going to grab my sheet of garden green. Now it's a little too dark, I think, to be put on here, but I'm going to get some, I think I'm going to use, here we go. Still haven't cleared off my desk from my class yesterday, so bear with me. I think I'm going to use something crumb cakey. Ooh. You know what? I think I'm going to use the crumb cake. All right, this is an envelope from the paper pumpkin kit that I was putting together the other day. Okay, so I've got a piece of paper pumpkin here, or a piece of crumb cake. I'm going to cut this because I want to use the garden green piece at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to cut this down to 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm going to layer it onto the green. Then I'm going to cut this down to 3 3/4. Actually, I like this side better. When I'm trimming, if I've done any sort of coloring or inking, I like to look at it and see what side I don't like, and then that's the one that I'm going to get trimmed off. So we're going to cut this one down to 5 inches. And I think I'm going to do a paper saver here. I'm going to be using our tailored tag punch out the center. because our vellum piece and our crumb cake piece are going to go over top of it, so it won't really matter. All right, let's tag down our, you know what, I'm gonna get this out of the way. Okay, we're gonna put our vellum down. Now usually I wouldn't use, a tape runner on vellum because generally speaking, whatever adhesive you put on it, you can see through it. But I think that there's enough color on here that it will hide it. Oops. Come on. And kind of get it centered-ish. Now, because I have my tag punch out here, I don't want to adhere my, I don't want to put my cardstock or my adhesive on this piece of cardstock because I don't want the card or the tape to be on this piece. So I'm just going to apply it there. And because I've made cards enough, I'm fairly familiar with what the dimension is going to be. Then we're going to take some of this ribbon. It's the window pane check ribbon. Let's see if I can find some scissors on my desk. There they are. Yeah, I think we're going to use that. I don't use ribbon very often, and I feel like I need to today. Yeah, we'll do that right across the center. And then what I like to do with the ribbon to give it a little bit of movement on the front is just apply a little bit to the ends that I'm going to wrap around the card. And of course I ran out of tape. Excuse my reach. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put this kind of center-ish. Whoops, flip it over. And this was a piece of cardstock that I did something on that I didn't love, so I'm just repurposing it. Okay, make that straight. All right, now we're going to grab our piece here. What am I going to use for a sentiment? Actually, I've been using this one a lot. The It's Your Birthday from the Mischievous Mice. It's handy, it's close, so I think I'm just going to grab that. And I think we're going to stamp it in Early Espresso today, because I've already used it, and that's the color that I used this morning, so that's the color we're going to stick with. It's Your Birthday, right in the middle. Grab some dimensionals, which, where did they go? They were just right here. There they are. Oh my goodness. Pretty soon we're going to have a video contest where it'll be, where's the whatever? And whoever spots it before I do is going to get a prize. All right, It's Your Birthday. We'll put right smack in the center. And then I think we're going to need to put a little bit of bling, just corners. These are the black matte dots. I'm going to push that up a bit. There we go. So there's card number 1 with alcohol or Stampin Blends and alcohol, rubbing alcohol. Now let's see if this guy, actually this turned out pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim this one down. We're going to do we're going to leave it 4 inches, and we're going to trim it to 5 1/4. And the colors that I'm using for this one are going to be Flirty Flamingo and White. Because there is enough of the, actually we're going to trim it just a tad smaller. There we go. basic white. And I'm going to grab our Flirty Flamingo. Actually, I've got a Flirty Flamingo card base. That's what we're going to use. Yep, and then we'll cut our basic white piece to 4 inches. How about we hang this guy back up so it's not in the way anymore. I've got a command hook on the side of my desk that I've got a few different tools hanging off of. My heat tool always goes there because I'm a little bit paranoid of heat catching on something. Actually, I'm going to trim this just a little bit smaller too, I think. Come on. If it doesn't cut one way the way that you want it, all you need to do is flip it over so if it's curling, it still lays flat and you can get a pristine cut. And we're going to trim this one at 5 inches. Oops. There we go. Okay, so we're going to layer this piece onto our white, our basic white base. Now the paper, or the tape that I grabbed as a replacement, is the Stampin Seal Plus, which is a little bit stickier than the regular Stampin Seal. So, oops, when I am placing it onto my card, I want to make sure that it's where I want it before I move it, because if you don't, it's really challenging. Oh, it's not. Actually, that'll work. It's really challenging to get it back off. And I do like the little bit of movement on the edges here. Okay, so then we're going to do our tape here. And hi, sweet friend, I think is a good sentiment for this one. As long as it goes through. I do love the tailored tag punch, and I don't really seem to use it often enough. Yep, it'll fit. What color should I use? I don't want to use white. I think that's a little bit too stark. Okay, we'll do a Flirty Flamingo punch. Now this one, actually, I'll do a paper saver for that one too, because Valentine's Day is coming up, and I have a feeling I'm going to be using this color a little bit more often. And then I'm going to just cut, I don't know, maybe a 1/2 inch piece-ish. Yeah, I think 1/2 inch will be plenty. Okay, so now I am going to adhere this guy down. Again, kind of center-ish. It's very technical over here at Prairie Sky Paper Crafts. Ish works a lot for a lot of different scenarios. And then, what color ink do I want to use? Well, you know what? This one's close at hand. This is the one we're going to use. I'm just going to move my blends out of the way as well. I love the font on this set. It's just, I don't know, it's just perfect. Okay, now I've got some Enamel Dots. I'm going to use the medium-sized one. We're going to do one on the top, one on the bottom, I'm going to be sad when this sheet of dots is gone. I use it a lot. But my new favorite are the pearlescent rhinestones. They're so shimmery and so gorgeous. I think we're going to grab a couple more dimensionals here. Now, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter if you don't already. There's classes, tips, tricks, information about all kinds of fantastic stuff. I'll pop the link down below so you can check it out. And every once in a while, I do a call out for Happy Mail. And most of the time, my Happy Mail is cards like I've made on my live. So here's our 2 cards done. Same technique, 2 different styles. We've got our reinker background and our blends background. So if you try either one of them, please pop over to my VIP Facebook group and share it over there, or even on my Facebook page, Prairie Sky Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be doing a live on my page this week, and we'll be doing some more stuff with this paper. And on Friday, I will be back with some more tips and tricks for how to use vellum. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.